So I look at your page, I'm like, oh my gosh, she follows me. So she must be pro-life or something. But I haven't officially asked you that. Are you pro-life?
Yeah, I'm glad you've asked me that, because people kind of start around asking me certain questions, and I will happily disclose because I'm kind of an open book. Like once it's out there, the cat's out of the bag that I love Jesus and I believe in bodily autonomy and everyone's freedom in America. There's really no walking that back, and I don't want to walk it back.
Right.
So let's move on. So the way my stance used to be that I believed the propaganda that was given by the media for a long time of that it was nothing that I would ever do myself. It was a decision that I would never be able to do that for myself. But I kind of fell in line with the idea that a bunch of men in Washington, D.C. don't have the right to make that decision for our bodies, right?
Yeah.
And then I started learning more about the actual process of it. And I started learning more about how the baby actually does feel pain and moves away from the needle and the brutality of the actual experience for the child. And the fact that that is a child. There was recently a shooting and the media didn't cover it because a woman who was like pregnant was shot and killed. And the reason that story didn't make the news is because it would inevitably people would realize that the truth in that argument is that there were two people that were murdered that day. Two people.
Yeah,
The mom
absolutely.
and the baby. Right? So yeah, I'm pro-life and I am anti-vax and I'm anti-mandates and I'm pro-freedoms. So there you have it.
No, I think that's beautiful. And I'm so glad that you shared it.
Okay, so I just want to add one more thing to that. I don't want to hear from the left how I don't like people who have had abortions. That couldn't be further from the truth. I have nothing but compassion for people who have been through that. I have multiple friends who have had abortions. It doesn't mean that I consider myself worthy of sitting in a chair of judgment upon them because I don't. I have a friend who I love. She is one of my ride or dies here on earth. I love her so much. She did this. She was very young, and all I can say is I've never walked in her shoes. I don't pretend to have ever walked in her shoes and gone through what she's gone through. I just know that it's a baby.
So when it comes to the life issue, there was something you mentioned in another podcast and you didn't get super into detail. You said you thought, this was back when you're in Hollywood, you're like, I'm the only woman who wasn't at the Women's March fighting for, women's rights. Why didn't you march with them?
Because last I checked, I had rights. Like, why am I marching for rights that I already have? Listen, there's nobody that has a different color skin than me in the United States, that has a different upbringing than me in the United States, that has different cultural parents than me in the United States, that identifies as a cat, a dog, an LGBTQA, whatever plus. There's not a single person that doesn't have the same rights that I have.
What do you say to the people who say, oh, you have to have abortion to be equal to men, or, we have no rights if we don't have abortion?
Okay, well, first of all, equal rights and equal opportunity is different than us being the same. We are not the same as men. We are given this gift of having life grow in our body and being a vessel to bring it here onto this planet. So we're not the same, but we do have equal rights. But, that's like saying that a man has the right to kill a baby too. Does a man have a right to walk around and kill a baby? No, they don't.
Absolutely. I am so excited that you're pro-life. Like, you have no idea. I'm geeking out over here.